Yo, what is up, amazing, beautiful soul? I want to tell you that you're a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's topic is anxiety. We're talking about no more anxiety. Let's get into it. The first and foremost, what is anxiety? Anxiety, I have it understood as suppressed excitement. What does this mean? Suppressed excitement. Anxiety is suppressed excitement. So you are a chemical soup. The foundation, the basis of human life is chemical. Each individual is based on chemicals. So anxiety is suppressed excitement. When there's so much emotion, there's so much thought, there's so much going on, and you don't know what to do. And I can find myself in anxiety, right? I mean very low temp anxiety. Now granted, I can remember when I literally, like, I wasn't going to apply for a job because I was so full of anxiety. Like, I didn't know what was up, what was down, and that paralyzes you. Anxiety is a poison. Anxiety is something that we can all experience in very low levels or very high levels. And that is the foundation, that is the definition, excuse me, that I like to associate with anxiety. Anxiety is suppressed excitement. What does this mean? Well, we've all been anxious. Let's say we have a loved one, or we have someone in school or at work, at the movie theater, and we know we like them, but yet I can't make myself go talk to them. Or I know I have to have a conversation with my parents or my kids, but I can't make myself go do the action that I need to do. So that is suppressed emotions, excitement that we don't know how to express. We don't know what avenue to release this energy. So how to deal with anxiety? Well, quite frankly, there's a lot of things we can do, and it all depends how much how conscious you want to be. Because we have the unconscious thoughts, we have everything that's unconscious, and on the flip side, anything that's done unconscious can be done consciously. So usually we know we're conscious, excuse me, we know we're anxious because of my thoughts, right? We've had our first awakening, we are adults, we have realize that I can be conscious beyond a reasonable doubt. With that, beyond, excuse me, someone just knocked. We are conscious that we can be conscious without any reasonable doubt. So if I remember back to whenever I was a little kid, I didn't have this huge thought stream, right? I just kind of acted. Now we have thoughts. Now we have a audible representation of how I'm feeling inside and about what's going on outside. So how do I couple this with anxiety? Well, usually anxiety is going to start with, to the point that it is audible, like I'm anxious or I don't know. There'll be thoughts associated with those chemicals. So in order to overcome this, we can have warm, positive self-talk, like calm down, I love myself. The very important thing here is using a positive, a loving, warm tone. Because I will share with you, at one point in my life, I would wake up and go to sleep repeating one word: love, love, love. At that time, I was trying to manifest, I was trying to understand the world, I was trying to be the best version of myself, and there's a lot of information on the internet about love being the highest vibration. So I thought, okay, well, I believe in this, so let me just carry that thought all day. And I noticed that I wasn't really giving myself the medicine that I was looking for. It wasn't the antidote, the purpose, the intention was there, but after time, it just became more of a job. The way I was saying love was very ugly. Well, quite frankly, I was just saying it to say it. I wasn't saying it to bring myself up. So the way you talk to yourself using your intelligence, using your brain, is very important. If you speak to yourself in a loving, warm way, that's going to change your vibration. And let me discuss a little bit how the brain and the body work. The brain is an electrical instrument. The body is a chemical one. The and these can go, it can go backwards or forwards. It's a big loop. But let's say that the body is releasing these chemicals. Those are chemical signals that the brain has to translate into electrical signals that you understand, and we call this thought. So I'm feeling anxious right now. Those chemicals are bubbling up. My brain sends a signal, and the brain says, yeah, like I'm revved up, I feel anxious. And then the brain is going to create more signals, more thoughts based on your emotions. So what is the takeaway point from here? Your emotions is the secret. Now, anxiety is something that you're not just going to overnight never have anxiety. Anxiety is something that we can all have throughout the rest of our lives. Even myself, I can see myself probably in a year being anxious with, but the difference is what effect does it have on you? Because for me now, if I claim, oh, I was anxious, it's the observation that I could accept being anxious. When you start to create an elevated emotion, when you start to live through the heart, which is living 100% conscious, you don't embody the thought. The size of the frontal lobe, but we believe because of the size of the frontal lobe, every thought is reality. But once you can disconnect to your thoughts by living consciously, and the best way is creating an elevated emotion, you will notice that what comes to you is the idea that you could embody that if you were not living consciously. That is my that is my reality currently with anxiety. I am presented with a situation. My elevated state is always on. I'm always conscious, and a experience comes to my life, and my thoughts, my unconscious thoughts present this and show me like, wow, if I wouldn't be living through the heart, this is how I would be reacting. At this place, well, this is growth, this is enlightenment, this is nirvana, because as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, a thought without the emotional charge is wisdom. Only in this place you can grow. So there's a lot of things we can do. You can live a little bit slower. What I mean by this is we're so fast, we're always trying to do the next thing. We're like monkeys. We always have to be twitching or blinking or doing something, and we can't accept to just lay down. We can't accept to stop unnecessary action. What is a monkey? A monkey, if you see a monkey on YouTube, they're always like moving a leg, always moving an arm, they're always doing something. So stopping unnecessary action is very important. Allowing your body to move from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for repair and growth, regeneration, you'll be able to calm your anxiety. You'll be able to settle into yourself. Another thing is expressing meditation. So why meditation? Well, if you allow yourself to calm your thoughts, there's different ways to meditate, but simply the act of telling yourself, I'm going to sit here for 5 or 20 minutes, whatever it may be, you're showing yourself, you're showing your mind, your body, which is the unconscious mind, that you're in control. You're telling yourself, after this meditation, I'm going to go eat, I'm going to check my emails, I'm going to do etc., etc. And another thing is the food that we eat can also affect our anxiety, and that's really a big sum of it. You know, if you want external um, ways to help your anxiety, it'll be your food, a little bit of more peace, breathing, and meditation. And if you want the quick response, the most powerful antidote, well, that's living through your heart, creating an elevated emotion, because everything is a chemical. If you're creating an elevated emotion, you go from 0 to the elevated emotion, and let's call this elevated emotion positive 50. It's a lot harder for you to be anxious because you're conscious of your emotional state. I hope this information has been useful. I invite you to look up Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, all the science about epigenetics, about effects of meditation, effects of the placebo effect, and quantum physics that shows us my emotions and my thoughts change an outcome in my future. And just really feed yourself this information, because that's intelligence is power. Intelligence is power, but self-empowerment is, excuse me, Knowledge is power, but self-realization is empowerment. So you need to embody these teachings. You need to really put into action and not just get the information, because I might be able to read a manual whenever I bought a bike. For example, whenever I received my first bike, my father told me, Luis, you have to read this full manual. So let me ask you this. Did I have the knowledge of how to ride a bike after reading the manual? I did not. So you have to embody, you have to elevate yourself, you have to accept these teachings, and you have to apply them and live by them. Please share with me what topics you'd like for me to cover, and share with me what tactics, share with us what are you doing today to overcome your anxiety. It's going to help us all. And lastly, please share this video on your social media with your parents, with your family, mastermind group, and I'll share that I hope to see you in the sight of light. Goodbye.